If you had to define your life concept in one phrase, what would it be? For those of you that do not know me, hi, my name is Kat, and I quit my corporate job approximately a year and change ago. I quit it in January of 2024, and I've been trying to answer that question for myself ever since. And that concept, that idea has evolved kind of a lot over that period of a year and 3 months or whatever it is. Now, originally, my concept was that because I was so miserable when I was in my corporate job, my main goal was to just experience happiness and joy again, because it felt like it really just fucking left and did not exist for me. So at that point, my goal, my phrase was just trying to find things that make me happy. So I went and I did that whole shebang for probably 10 to 11 months, right? I even started like a TikTok series where I was just trying to do one new thing each week. So I think I did a dance class. I went to an art slash fashion presentation one time. I was mainly just trying to figure out what actually even makes me happy. And the only way that I could think to do that was, one, to go back to my childhood and the things that I really liked in childhood, and all of that pertained to some form of creativity, whether it be dance, sing, fashion, modeling, acting, writing, etc., etc. Like it all bubbled up around that concept. Or it was kind of also thinking about what is going to expand my horizons. What have I really not tried that I have wanted to try for so long, like potentially since childhood? So I went on and I did that for 10 to 11 months, and I learned a lot. And honestly, I think one of the greatest things that I learned during that time was actually from acting, because it really teaches you how to feel your emotions. And I don't think without that, and without starting the artist's way and writing morning pages every day, I don't think without the combination of those two that I would have been able to get to where I ended up in November. So basically, I stayed in the United States, had a lot of different changes happen. In November, I decided that I was going to go abroad. And when I went abroad, at that point in time, I kind of needed to iterate on what my original life motto, life phrase was. And so now, because I no longer felt the need to get back to happiness, I was like, I want to live life is actually what I want to do. So living while I'm alive. It's basically the concept of I just want to experience new experiences. And I want to get the full human experience, for lack of a better word. So it was basically, what can I do to gain these experiences? And I think traveling is a great way, and you get to explore so much while you're traveling, and you get to see so many different perspectives, and that's great. And that was a grand old time. Loved it. I would say that phrase was probably my motto for probably through January. I think I probably had that iteration of it through January. And then once February hit, I think I kind of wanted perspective. I wanted to see things from as many different perspectives as possible. So it was looking at the same thing being the subject and seeing how many different ways I could interpret that situation, or how many different lenses could I look through for one picture, if that makes sense. And so I kind of had that for a while. And by a while, obviously it couldn't have been that long because we're only in April. But that was a really cool thing to go through. But I was like, you know what? This doesn't feel like exactly what I'm trying to do with my life. So from there, I realized that my goal in life was to have a regulated nervous system. And I had to do things that was going to start calming me down and grounding me. So that kind of started happening for me in March. So I think I basically for February is when I was looking for different perspectives, which was great. And then March, it was like, all right, you need to ground yourself. You need to figure out your nervous system. And getting to that point, I was like, all right, I kind of understand what I need to do now. And that means you actually can't be traveling for a second. You need to slow down. And you need to just sit with a lot of the things that have just happened to you for the past year, because you just did a lot. So with that, I started thinking about the fact that I wanted to find things that make me happy. And not to say that happiness shouldn't be the goal, but I think it's interesting how my iterations have kind of still led me back to finding things that make me happy, like that original thought, that original motto. Just because when you have a calm nervous system, essentially you're finding happiness and peace. Like, if you're thinking of it on a vibrational scale, like, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's like fear and love are like the two, or fear and peace. No, I think it's fear and love. Either way, fear is on the bottom, and it has like a bunch of different things encompassed within it, and then you have love at the top, and within the love section is happiness, is peace. And it's kind of the concept of having majority of your days, or like the totality of your days, to be averaging up here, while still understanding that the rest of the ranges still need to be met. And so it's kind of understanding that if you can figure out how to regulate your nervous system, you can figure out how to feel peace, how to feel happiness majority of the time, without feeling the need to suppress all of the other emotions, because you actually understand how to manage those emotions, how to manage that state of mind, and know that you are going to get out of it. Like, you don't fear anymore. You don't fear lack anymore. You're just like, it's a wave. It's going to come and it's going to go, and everything is going to be okay. And when you start to recognize this, you're like, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be happy. So right now, I feel like if I had to choose a phrase for what I'm trying to live my life by, I think it would be, this isn't eloquent. I need to think of a more eloquent way of saying this, but basically having a regulated nervous system. That was anticlimactic, but that's okay. That's the whole point of this. It's just like kind of asking yourself questions to understand what you want and where you're at, and then being able to look back on that and see where you've gone to, and almost like how that loops back into your original thesis, your original hypothesis, your original like thought for what life should be. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this journey of mine, this mental journey of mine. And I'm curious, what is, if you had to use one phrase to describe what your life motto is, or the way you aim to live your life, what would it be? Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, come back, please. It's gonna be so much fun, I promise. All right, I love you, bye. Mwah.